Schisandra chinensis is commonly known as Wu-wei-ji, magnolia vine, five flavor fruit, or just Schisandra. It's a native to East Asia, including China, Japan, and Korea. It's a deciduous climbing vine that can grow up to 29 feet 6 inches tall, with tiny flowers that develop into edible berries.
The fruit are approximately 6 millimeters in diameter, coming together to form a grape-like bunch. This vine is hardy between zones 4 and 8 and is in flower from April to May. The seeds, however, are not ripe until August to October. Schisandra chinensis produces edible fruit and leaves. Its fruit are said to be an acquired taste, but can be eaten raw or cooked. Typically, it is dried and used on long journeys as it is very sustaining. The fruit is rich in sugars and has a sweet, sour flavor. The leaves can be cooked and used as a vegetable. It is also fermented and made into wine.
Medicinally, Schisandra is commonly used in Chinese herbalism and is considered one of the 50 fundamental herbs. The fruit is used to treat dry coughs, asthma, night sweats, insomnia, poor memory, diabetes, as well as irritating and allergic skin conditions. On top of that, the materials obtained from the fruit and branches can be used to make paper, hairdressing, and gum.
Preparing to propagate Schisandra, the first step of any method is to select the parent plant. The chosen plant should be healthy, actively growing, and disease and pest-free. This will help to ensure that the propagules are healthy and do well.
To propagate it by seed, separate male and female plants are necessary because Schisandra is dioecious, with the exception of one cultivar called Eastern Prince, which has perfect flowers. Seeds should be collected in October and then refrigerated for 4 to 12 weeks, or sown in a cold frame to satisfy the cold stratification requirement.
In the spring, the seeds should then be soaked for 12 hours and then planted in flats in a greenhouse. Germination rates, however, are not high with this method. Pot the seedlings 4 weeks after they germinate, or when they are about 4 inches tall, and continue to grow them in a greenhouse for 2 years with a shade cloth for protection. Then they can be moved to their final location.
Schisandra also produces suckers, so it's easily propagated by dividing new suckers from the roots. They can be taken during the spring before dormancy is broken, or in the fall after they've gone dormant again.
First, a cutting is selected. It should be from semi-hardwood, meaning last year's growth. When making the cut, ensure that it is straight, clean, and done using a sterilized, sharp tool. This will help to minimize the risk of disease. Schisandra can also be propagated by layering. In the spring, you should strip the leaves off of the last 4 inches of a long vine, then wound the plant by cutting off a slice of the epidermis along the stripped segment.
Bury the vine 1 inch to 2 inches deep and cover it with soil. Put a rock or something similar over the area to secure it in place, and then wait until the following spring to separate it from the parent plant.
The method we will be demonstrating is taking a cutting. First, a cutting is selected. It should be from semi-hardwood, meaning last year's growth. When making the cut, ensure that it is straight, clean, and done using a sterilized, sharp tool. This will help to minimize the risk of disease.
To make the heel cut, a piece of wood that is 2 years old needs to be included. Trimming off this year's growth shortens the cutting to the suggested 3 to 4 inches.
The cutting should then be dipped in a rooting hormone. Here, we are using hormone 1, a powdered rooting hormone. The cutting is dipped into the hormone and all cut surfaces are covered.
Normally, a small amount of rooting powder would be placed in a cup and the heel dipped into that, but none was available and rolling it in the powder substituted. As we mentioned before, a well-drained, rich, slightly acidic media is best. Wet the media before planting the cutting. Then firm the media once it is planted.